For over 4 decades, 73-year-old Adelina Ortin paid into her state pension.
When I retired, my pension was between 80 and 90% of what I used to earn. Now it is closer to just 25%.
The national minimum pension now stands at around $325 a month. Economist Hernan Leche says spending power for retirees is down by as much as 20% as a result of President Javier Milei's austerity measures. Leche points out pensions have accounted for much of Milei's spending cuts.
Retirees are the sector most clearly affected by the austerity policies. 25% of the fiscal deficit reduction, or 1 in every 4 pesos, was achieved by significantly cutting retirees' incomes.
Milei, a libertarian, took office in December 2023, promising economic shock therapy. His policy has slowed the country's rampant inflation rate and slashed the fiscal deficit, though official government figures released on Wednesday showed the country's gross domestic product, or GDP, contracted by 1.7% in 2024, Milei's first year in office. For the past year, there have been weekly marches to protest spending cuts for retirees. Recently, football supporters joined the demonstrations in solidarity. There were violent clashes between protesters and security forces outside Congress. Photographer Pablo Grillo was hit in the head by a tear gas canister. He remains in intensive care.
There was further tension ahead of this week's march. On Wednesday, the security forces fenced off Congress, and there were warnings issued on public transport during the day that the police would use force to clamp down on any protests.
Social organisations also marched this week as the older generation says it is paying the price to fix the economic woes.
Right now it is very difficult because we're suffering unnecessary and extreme austerity, and they justify it by having zero fiscal deficit.
The country's largest trade union has announced a general strike next month in response to President Milei's economic plan. Joel Richards, CGTN, Buenos Aires.